Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. Now we are on the part 1, building CRUD feature for ASP.NET Blazor. Let's start by open our Visual Studio application. I'm using Visual Studio 2022 in here. We can just create a new project and then select the Blazor web application, or you can search Blazor. Okay, this one, Blazor web app. Double click and name your project. For me, I just put simple CRUD. Okay, and leave the other and then click next. Okay, in here I'm using .NET 8 and then we are not using any authentication type, and in here I'm using an interactive render mode as server, and leave the rest. I just create in here. Okay, now we have our Blazor project. First, let we remove the component that we will not use. Like on the pages, we will not using the counter in here. It's just a demo. We also remove the weather. Okay, the error we can keep like this. And then for the layout, I'm not using a nav menu in here. And for my layout, there is some component I will update. So yeah, we can keep it for now. And we can open the Nugget Package Manager, this one. And then we can install. Go to the browse and search for the Entity Framework Core. What you need to install is this one, Entity Framework Core. I install. Accept it. Now it's installed, and then we are going to install the SQL Server in here, Microsoft Entity Framework Core SQL Server, and then also Microsoft Entity Framework Core Tools. Okay, I accept, and we can close it now. I believe we only need 3 of this component. I can close it. I think it's okay to close all also, because now we are going to have a new folder in here. We name it as a data access. Any database relation on this project, we will put into this folder, like entity, application DB context, seed the data, anything related to database. And now we are going to have another folder for entities. Actually, for this project, we only have one entities or one table, but it's okay. We keep as a subfolder in case you want to modify this project. You can just put another entity in here. And then I have a new class. I name it as an employee. Okay, I zoom a bit. What we will have here is we will have public integer of employee ID get set, and then okay, employee name. I think this is autocomplete by Visual Studio, but I prefer full name. And then I duplicate and put department, and then I duplicate again. This one is date time and date of birth. And the next we will have an integer of age and string of phone number. Okay. In this project, as a sample scenario or sample case, we are going to have an employee management system. So we can add new employee data, edit new employee data, and remove employee data. If you want to try play around with this data or property in here, you can add any property as you want, and then it will be converted into column in database. But I prefer only using this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 column. It's okay. And then the employee ID will be foreign key in our table. Make sure you have ID behind the property name, and Entity Framework will automatically detect that employee ID is primary key. In example, you want to have employee number in here. Entity framework will not detect any primary key in this table. So what you need is you need to indicate key in here. So the entity framework will detect that this is a primary key. But I ignore it. I just undo. I prefer employee ID. And then what we need to have now is application DB context. Create a new class. Okay, name it as a app DB context. Add. We will inherit from a DB context. Context, yeah. Need reference, I think. Okay, need reference from DB context using entity framework core. Make sure we already install it. And then I need to have a constructor. Oh, by the way, what I click is ctrl and dot, or you can right click and click this one, quick action and refactoring. And then I will generate the constructor with options here. Okay. And then we will have a table here, DB set employee and employees. Okay, nice. And then better we override the on model creating. Okay, we will use this later for our dataset. Just leave it for now. And the next we will have a connection string to connect to our SQL server. So we'll have a connection strings. Okay, nice. I use this one. And then I name it as a default connection. You can name it as you want actually. I just prefer this. And what we will have here is a server equals to local host / SQL Express. Okay. And then database equals to what database we want to set, yeah, simple CRUD. And then we need to have this one, trusted connection is true and trust server certificate is true. Maybe we standard to lowercase true, and this one capital. Let me see. Okay, this is address to our SQL server in local, and then this is the database that we want to create. If you still not create yet in your database, that's fine. It will automatically create it. But if already have, that's okay too. And then we save it, and then we can close it. Now we go to the program.cs, and we need to include the application DB context in here, service, add DB context, name it the DB context we create before, this one, application DB context, and then it will be need reference to using simple CRUD data access, and then options, use SQL server because we are using SQL server, and then builder configuration get connection string, and it will accept the connection string name. Oh, I already closed it. This one, default connection, I copy and I paste it into here, and need to close, I think. Okay, this one should be closed also. Okay, now we need to synchronize this into our database. So what we will have is we need to go to the tools, NuGet Package Manager and Package Manager console. It should be in here. And then we need to create a migration. Add migration, initialization, and then the output directory will be on the data access / we need a new folder, name it as a migrations, and then enter. Okay, now the migration is created. If you are not familiar with this kind of things, this is a entity framework Codeverse. In Entity Framework Codeverse, anything we want to do in our database, we do it from code. Like this, we are creating a table with this description of columns, all we define from our code in here. So we should not modify our database structure, table structure directly from database, but instead we will keep tracking the change in our Visual Studio project in here. So as you see, we just creating this entity and then we do the migration creation and we will have this migration. It should be under migrations and yeah, this one we can see. No, it's still not complete because we need to synchronize to our database. So what we should have now is update database and enter. Nice, now it's success. If you check to your database, I open SQL Server Management Studio. And in here, I try to refresh, yeah, this is my previous project. I just refresh it. Nice, now I able to see the database of Simple CRUD with the table of employees in here. We can see the column also. Okay, nice. Now the table is created. And one more thing we need to have is dataset. So dataset is like a data sample for helping us develop this application. So looking like a real application more. Instead of we adding data manually one by one. And how to achieve the dataset is we can just go to the application DB context. And in here we will going to generate our sheet. I think but instead we will have another class for this. So just prepare in here model builder, generate sheet and close it. And that's fine. It will be error because we will have the function in data access, add and class. We name it as sheet and enter. And what we will have here is a public static class of sheet and then public static void generate sheet that extending the model builder and model builder. This means it's extending the application DB context model builder, this one. Now we can see the error is gone and we need to have our sheet in here. We will have a var employee as a new array and then we will have new employee, okay, and then employee equals to 1, the full name is sample, yeah, and then what department is what example sales, and then date of birth we need to having a new date time, example this 100 107 and then 06 is fine. This one is year, month and day, and the next age I just put 24 for example, and for number, yeah, the sample. Okay, I minimize it a bit, zoom out I mean, and close it, yeah, 2 more times and close. Okay, this one is sheet that we will adding to our database. This is sample data that will access in our database when we do development. I have a list of sample data you can download from description if you want, and in here I just copy it and paste it here. You can, if you don't want to use my sheet data, is okay, you can type by your own, but if you want to use, you can download the description, it's free, and I just paste it. Nice, this is list of the data. Actually this is list of my early subscriber for this channel. Thank you for everyone in here. So yeah, now we can minimize it, and then it's not complete because we need to include it for each employee in employees. Oh, this one should be employees. Model builder, entity, employee, and we need to have hash data, that employee. So for each employee in this array, we will include it into employee table in here. And by this should be fine. And we need to have another migration whenever we creating a sheet data. So add migration, this one sheet data, and we no need to indicate the folder again because it's already automatically. Only first time we need to do that. So I just enter. Nice. This is all the sheet we need to have. And then update database. Nice. There is no error. If we check in database and I try to right click and select the data, now I can see list of our employee. For this part of initialization, I think it's complete. Stay tuned for the part 2. You can see on description for the part 2 link, or should be on the playlist after this part complete. So yeah, maybe any question you can ask below and I will answer your question. So thank you for watching and bye bye.